Hi guys, a bit of a different one from me, a PvP video, or a little few tips and tricks around what you can do to help you play. First of all, hip firing. This one might prove a bit of a contentious one to start with, but to understand how hip firing or point firing works, we're going to have a quick look here. A little bit of editor's zoom for you. Now you can see these shots and the distance we are away and where they're landing. They're not very accurate at this distance. You can see they're hitting left, right. I've left the crosshair on so you can kind of get an idea. I added that red dot as well to make it a little bit easier to see. Now if you think about the size of someone's head or a zombie's head, then, you know, I say they're not accurate, but they're reasonably accurate. So this is about the distance that you can operate at. As you get closer, things get more accurate, more pinpoint. Still a bit of left and right and up and down, but when you get as close as this, it's almost bang on the dot. On the dot. Now there's the phrase. Doesn't it ever make you wonder how people get these plays off? These insta hip fires where they've just managed to bang people without any sort of aiming at all.
Fine. Dead.
To be able to hit that sort of shot, you have to have an amazing sense of the centre of the screen. You have to have an ability to be able to know where it is. And Shroud most likely is one of those sort of people, you know, we've seen it in the past. However, there are others that could be using assist. The monitor that has got a dot built into it in the software, external software that can provide a dot on the screen, the crosshair that's built into the game that's allowed on some servers, or just the old-fashioned paint a dot on your screen. Now I feel that I can point fire without any assists reasonably well, but I'm going to show you a couple of things here. Let's just have a look. So first off, I spawned all these zombies in and I'm going to shoot them. I'm only trying to get headshots. Headshots are the only thing that count. And I'm going to use a dot on my screen that you can't see. Reasonably accurate, I'd say. 80 to 90% I'm hitting on the headshots from that distance. Now let's have a look when I have got no dot on the screen, no aim assist at all. I mean, I'm hitting zombies, but I'm not hitting headshots. I'm probably hitting closer to 50% on this try without any assist at all. Just naturally aiming, trying to find and feel for the middle of the screen. I'm not faking this. This is how it happens. I tried another setup. I put these models, shall we call them, in the train carts, and the first set is with aim assist. Naturally, we're going to miss a few. The aim from this distance, as we saw earlier in the video, isn't 100% accurate. You're going to go left, you're going to go right, you're going to go high. But all in all, pretty accurate. Pretty good percentage. Now, we're going to try it without any aim assist. No dot on the screen, nothing, just me trying to feel the middle of the screen. My takeaway from this is point firing is way too accurate in Dayz, firstly. Secondly, if you've got some sort of assist, you will hit way more. Way more. Than if you haven't. I mean, that sounds maybe obvious, but it's as simple as that. It is really easy to hit point fire at certain distances with assist. Now let's just take a quick look at first and third person point firing and the differences. It's not a scientific look, you know, I'm only doing what I'm seeing, I'm not delving into any files, but here we go. First off, point firing, third person, point blank range. We want to see what sort of spread we get. Not using any assists here. What I'm trying to do is see how accurate it is, and I'm controlling the recoil as well. So we'll step back a little bit, have a look, see what it's like further back. Certainly a lot more difficult to control the recoil and wider spread. Same as in first person, really. Right, let's just go to a scenario where we come through the bush and we meet a target and then we try and shoot in third person. Not very accurate, I have to say. Right, we're going to try that in first person. Not using any aim assist there, was quite easy to hit the target, no problem. Finally give it a go with using ADS. The time it takes you to ADS and then adjust and then aim and then shoot, it's just too long. Just hip fire all the time, point fire. Way too accurate in Dayz, but just use it. Just use it. I did get asked about the buttstocks and whether or not they make any difference. They make no difference at all to left and right. There's no inertia. But recoil, let's have a quick look. With a lightweight buttstock this is. So that was just hand off the mouse, not controlling any recoil. It went all the way up to the red line there, basically, with a buttstock. This one now without the buttstock. Slight difference to the recoil, not a huge amount, not going to make a lot of difference, but now you know. Now we're going to have a quick peek at leaning. Ha! No pun intended. Thank you to Crow on the YouTube comments for this, who suggested, as odd as it sounds, to switch your keybinds around so that Q does right lean and E does left lean. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but it is actually genius, because you can press Q to lean right whilst moving right, because the fingers don't get in the way. Because that was the problem before, like you press Q and you're trying to press A and it's just below it and you get your fingers in it, before you know it, you're all tied up in a knot. But this works. This is the first time I've tried it, and it just works. Other alternatives, Holger on YouTube again in the comments suggested using foot pedals, another good alternative. You could also use your mouse, use the buttons there, but I don't like changing the grip on the mouse to lean. But, you know, all your own preferences. Now I'm going to switch to sniper rifles and have a look specifically at their recoil. Now this is important as to whether or not you can get back down to look at the target and see whether or not you hit the shot. First of all, at 200 meters, we're going to look at it. And this is the Blaze. You can see where it makes it to, the red line. Next up, we've got the Savannah. And you can see that goes to the same sort of place, but off to the right. Weird. Then, of course, the best sniper rifle in the game, the Winchester. Very little recoil on that one. And you can put a suppressor on it. And finally, we got the CR527. Now, that's a surprise. The least amount of recoil. Can also put a suppressor on it, but the damage isn't as great as the 308. Now check it out when it's fully zoomed. You can still see whereabouts the target would have been, but have a look at the Savannah. Fully zoomed, 200 meters. You can't see shit. That is the problem. That problem is also accentuated by distance. Now, the Blaze on 400 meters, as we're at the moment, look at that. Savannah on 400 meters, fully zoomed. Whee! Straight up in the air. And the Winchester on 400 meters. I mean, you know, I think it kind of speaks for itself. You got to fight to get it back down to see whether or not you made the hit. And the further out you are, the more difficult that is. So, you know, take your choice. And here's a look at the CR527, much the same as the Winchester really. There's very little in it. Next up, we're going to look at sniping in a prone position. One of these bad boys when you're sniping, absolutely essential. You have to range. You have to range the target. Look, I thought this was 500 meters. It's 635 meters. Get your ranging right. If your horizontal line isn't flat, left to right, isn't level, you're not going to hit the target. You're going to go way off to whichever side that you're, like you can see here, we're going off to the right. You can try and sort of guess whereabouts you aim to hit. I'm trying to hit the board on the right, and I'm aiming it all the way into the shed there to see if I can hit it, and you know, it's doable. So once again, no straight line, gonna hit to the right. To counter this, just crouch. If you crouch, you'll always have a flush, flat, spirit level, bubble in the middle, straight line. Job done. Now the medical system in Dayz. Let's firstly look at the epi. I'm going to show you this footage from a video I did a couple of weeks back. See these guys and decide that I don't want a 2v1. I'm going to get out of there. And I use the EpiPen to allow me to do that. 60 seconds of full stamina. You can obviously use it offensively. Here I use it defensively to get out of the way. You can use it to pull a flank on someone. Really underrated piece of equipment. Make sure, like, don't die with half a dozen EpiPens in your inventory. Get them used. Let's also cover morphine and bandaging. In an encounter here, I'm playing with Toby, but a guy's got me in his sights. He's going to knock me unconscious. Knocks me unconscious here. Now, when I come back round, I'm in a bit of a state. I'm on I'm on yellow health. My run speed's been hampered. I can't run very quickly. I try and get back to some sort of hard cover, get out of the guy's way, and then when I feel like it's safe-ish, I pop the morphine, which morphine will give me 100% run speed for 60 seconds. No problems, whether or not you're on red, flashing red, whatever, you get 100% run speed. And I've got two bleeds to deal with, but I don't feel like, whilst I felt it was safe to get the morphine, I didn't really want to get the bandaging done because it wasn't critical. It's critical to get 100% run speed because this guy could be behind me. So I head straight down the tree line, I run for a whole minute with these two bleeds, and so often I see people panic bandaging and just shoot them. You know, there's nothing easier than shooting a stationary target. Get yourself some hard cover, get somewhere safe, and then get the bandaging done. You're not going to die from running out of blood, or very likely to die. The most likely thing that will kill you is that little plus in the corner when that gets to 0. Couple of other things. We're over at Mishkino here, and this, hands down, is the best place to get a plate carrier. And you can get pristine plate carriers if you're really lucky. Point of note, you'll only find them on the zombies. They don't drop anywhere else, not in vanilla anyway. I'm obviously playing in an offline mode here, so this one's badly damaged. You can use the epoxy putty to bring it back up to worn. But as I say, pristine plate carriers, that's the new meta. Or the meta, I don't know whether it's new. But that's what you want. Also, make sure you check the top of the Humvees. There's a hidden loot spot right on the very top. You never know what you might find. And if you want to use that mine in a nasty way, and you happen to have one of these vials, they tend to spawn after a toxic strikes hit a town, or possibly in the toxic zones, military zones. Place the landmine, put the vial by the side of it, someone walks over it, the landmine explodes, sends you unconscious. Whilst you're unconscious, the vial has split and is putting toxic gas everywhere, and you wake up and you're in a right old state. I didn't make this idea up. Someone told me in the chat it may have come from Wobo, possibly. I don't know. But anyway, worth a try if you can do it. Like I said earlier, a bit of a different video from me covering some of the more niche aspects of PvP maybe. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.